Hello there. Have you ever felt like you have huge ambitions but struggle to put them into action? One reason might be the daily buildup of anger or frustration. When we let even small annoyances grow, it drains the energy we need to pursue what really matters. The bigger problem is that unchecked anger can lead to sadness and a sense of powerlessness, which can trap you in a mindset of it'll never work out. You may already be caught in a cycle of learned helplessness without even realizing it. Today, let's talk about how to manage this powerful emotion called anger so that it actually helps you achieve your dreams and goals more easily. Chapter 1. Why we need to control anger. Imagine you're working hard to build a house, but somebody keeps pulling out bricks from one side. No matter how well you build, something keeps undermining your progress. If we want to achieve our goals, we need to not only focus on moving forward, but also on removing the factors that hold us back. That's why failing to handle anger can eventually lead to failure overall. Kazuo Inamori, founder of Kyocera, once said that doing business is a path to cultivating personal character. When you're on any journey toward success, you'll face countless setbacks and disappointments. If you blow up in anger at every rough patch, you risk losing all the progress and reputation you've built in an instant. In our society, we start facing competitive pressures from an early age and carry that stress into jobs, relationships, and beyond. Over time, that stress often transforms into deep-seated frustration, leaving us exhausted before we can even start on our bigger dreams. Learning to control and channel your anger, rather than trying to eliminate it entirely, is crucial. If managed properly, anger can actually be a huge source of motivation. So let's figure out how to stop letting anger consume us, and instead use it to our advantage. Chapter 2. The nature of anger. First, understand that everyone feels anger. It's a natural, human response to situations we can't fully control. Even if the situation is negative, if we believe we can handle it, we typically don't get overwhelmingly angry. It's the feeling of helplessness or lack of control that really triggers anger. Of course, life throws us plenty of events we simply can't control. Stoic philosophy and Buddhism both teach that anger is inevitable. So instead of denying it, telling yourself, I never get mad, the key is to recognize it as soon as it arises. Okay, I'm angry right now. Acknowledging it is the first step to taking back control. People who claim, I never get angry, often have a lot of suppressed frustration beneath the surface. Anger that's pushed down tends to explode later in unhealthy ways. That's why it's so important to identify and manage your emotions cleanly. Chapter 3. The key technique for constructive change. Now that we know anger is unavoidable and we need to notice it in ourselves, what do we do next? The immediate step is simple. Take deep breaths and relax your body. When anger flares up, the amygdala in your brain goes into overdrive, shutting down the rational thinking of your frontal lobe. By pausing for about 5 seconds of slow, deep breathing, you can reawaken your ability to think clearly and prevent a total meltdown. Breathe in and out slowly while counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let that calm your mind. Then, ask yourself, why am I so angry about this? Philosopher P.F. Strawson likened anger to an alarm that signals a problem. The alarm is going off, so figure out the real reason behind it. Chapter 4. The attitude when dealing with anger. When you're angry, it's not about beating the other person. The real goal is to find a solution that moves everyone forward. Ultimately, what we want is not fighting or resentment itself, but a resolution to whatever triggered our anger in the first place. Take noise complaints between neighbors as an example. Instead of confronting them aggressively, you might say, I don't want to fight with you. I want us to fix this problem together. It's essential to remain calm in both words and body language. By focusing on constructive conversation, the energy and time you'd waste in conflict can be put toward solutions, like better soundproofing or other creative fixes. That way, both sides end up happier. These days, a lot of communication happens through text or social media, where tone can be easily misunderstood. One practical tip is to use notes like, in a friendly tone, or add a friendly emoji to show you're not attacking them. It may feel small, but it can prevent a lot of needless conflict. Chapter 5. Turning anger into forward momentum. Even if you try to manage your anger, sometimes it just won't go away. You might even feel it growing. So how do we transform that frustration into real drive? There's ultimately only one core principle you find repeated by wisdom traditions and great thinkers, Hatred is never ended by more hatred. Anger doesn't disappear by adding more anger. True compassion and love are the only ways to overcome anger. Stoic philosophers and Buddhist teachings warn that seeking vengeance for situations out of our control usually ends up devouring us. Thinkers like Martha Nussbaum, citing examples like Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and Martin Luther King Jr., stress the importance of not letting anger turn into hate. Turning anger into patience, compassion, and forgiveness strengthens relationships and communities, and that sets the stage for real growth. Yet don't forget that righteous anger can spark big changes in the world. If a law or policy is blatantly unfair, letting the anger fizzle out does nothing. But channeling that anger into action, like voting or filing official complaints, can lead to real improvement. Whenever you feel anger, ask yourself, what do I want to change? Then set a clear goal and plan of action. Suddenly, anger isn't wasting your energy, but fueling your progress. Conclusion: anger as an SOS signal and a powerful engine. Anger is a natural emotion and a distress signal from your mind. When you transform it through mindful breathing, balance, constructive dialogue, and decisive action, it stops destroying your life and starts propelling it forward. Whenever you find yourself in a conflict, remember to approach it with a mindset of, let's move forward together. Properly harnessed anger can reignite your ambition and push you toward bigger horizons. By facing the anger inside you and turning it into momentum, you'll find you have a powerful weapon for achieving your dreams and goals.